What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 180. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911. You drop a follow over there, get notified when we go live with the podcast or other streams, so you join in on the fun and chaos live as we record it. But if you can't catch live, that's a-okay, and go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, any way you can support the show, likes, subscriptions, shares, reviews, whatever it is. It may seem small, but if you take the time to do that, it does help us out immensely, so we would appreciate you for that. What is going on today for episode 180? Well, it's a fun variety show. As always, we're going to be talking some video games. We're going to be talking some more Marvel, as we're going to be talking about Steam Next Fest, some demos I played there, and we're going to be talking about that Kraven the Hunter trailer that Sony dropped this past week as of recording. So let's jump into topic one. Let's talk about Steam Next Fest. So for those of you guys who don't know what Steam Next Fest is, I believe this is a yearly thing. Maybe it happens more than a year. I don't know. But Steam is a big PC platform marketplace store where you can get a wide variety of video games on your PC, play them, enjoy them to your heart's content. And what Steam Next Fest is essentially a giant week-long event of demos of just upcoming titles that are coming out that developers want to get out there for people to play, to wishlist their storefront, to try and help get word out about their game, get notice from publishers, and try and help their development team and the development process for their games as they prep for either a launch as soon as next month to a year from now, just to get the games into more players' hands for them to experience. Obviously, throughout the year, there are conventions that do go on, especially for indie titles, which Steam Next Fest seems to be a majority of indie titles, smaller dev teams. This gives them the opportunity to kind of reach out to that audience that they may not get or not be able to monetarily find through, like, putting out trailers on PlayStation Showcase or Xbox Showcase or Summer Games Fest or Game Awards and stuff like that. This allows them opportunities, once again, to give more players and get it in front, their product in front of more players' eyes in an easier fashion. So there are conventions that they could do this as well. PAX East, PAX West, I believe PAX South used to be a thing, but that's PAX Prime. And then I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones. But PAX seems to be the biggest, like, indie kind of convention, at least that I know of. As always, my indie development knowledge is very limited. If you do want more knowledge on everything indie games, the development cycle, the devs themselves, interviews, games, news, I highly recommend you guys go check out another podcast called 61 Indie. These guys do great work over there. The 61 Indie Cast is that podcast that covers all this information. You go to 61indie.com and you can check out reviews and editorials that they put up there, the YouTube channel, all that fun stuff. Those guys do great work. We've been lucky and fortunate enough to have Kyle on this podcast a few times to talk about that. Hopefully down the road we'll have more of those guys on. But they're the people really that you should be checking out and getting detailed information from. And that's why I decided to try out Steam Next Fest this year. They've talked a lot about interesting titles that have come out. And with this, once again, getting the opportunity to play some of these demos and see them before, obviously, the full release, I wanted to take advantage of that, and I wanted to make sure I did that. So they have a plethora of demos that you can try out absolutely free. Play them for however long you want during the week, and try and give some feedback or wishlist the games, which, once again, wishlisting allows them to kind of get into the eyes of publishers to try and help this game release more successfully. So a lot of titles that you can play. I had the opportunity to play 8 of these. Some quicker than others, but I had the opportunity to play 8 of these. There's a few others that I want to check out before the Steam Next Fest ends, and hopefully I'll get an opportunity to. But wanted to quickly talk about the titles that I did play, what they're about, how I enjoyed them, and just go from there. So, like I mentioned, I played 8. There's 3 I didn't play. So the 3 I didn't get a chance to play yet are Wizard with a Gun. I really should have all of these up, or at least in terms of the teams that I can talk about. That'd probably be smart, but it's me. But I think Wizard with a Gun is being published by Devolver. We had Goodbye Volcano High, which comes out very, very soon in August 29th on a lot of platforms. And then we had Viewfinder, which has been shown off at the PlayStation Showcase before, which is this kind of like puzzle art game, kind of like Superliminal, where you're dealing with perspective for puzzles and trying to solve different platforming aspects there. So I didn't get a chance to play those 3, but I did get a chance to play some others. So let's start with the first demo that we did play. It's called Little Kitty, Big City. Hell yeah. So this is made, published and produced by Double Dagger Studio. It's coming out in 2024. But essentially what Little Kitty, Big City is, it is a very wholesome exploration platforming game. Essentially the story that they're trying to tell in this game is you're a cat in the city. Shocker. And you unfortunately got lost from your apartment. You fell down and are trying to just essentially find your way back home. So throughout the game, you're the cat and you are just trying to solve different puzzles, interact with different animals, and try and find your way back home. In the demo that they have available here, you are solving puzzles by finding different things for, I believe there's a crow that will help you out, but you got to find shinies, which is essentially just like money and other different shiny objects for them. In order to start your process home. There's a funny raccoon or tanuki that you help get stuck out of a pipe that he got into because he was chasing after some stuff. There's a bigger cat that teaches you like what to do as like a outside cat because you're an indoor cat your whole life. So it's a little silly objectives, a little fun platforming, jumping onto things, figuring out how to make your way around the city and grab different objectives or complete them and the puzzles that are given to you. I didn't have hands-on playthrough with this, but I did watch a lady play it, and she seemed to have a great time with it. And this seems like one of those games where, like I said, it's very wholesome and comfortable, where there is a story and the narrative going on. But this is one of those ones you can kind of just cut off from the rest of the world, play something very simple. Obviously having a cute animal protagonist is going to help that. And just having some fun with it. Not every game has to be super, hardcore of the narrative of the story and what it's telling. This one has that story element, which is nice, but it's just a fun experience. Looking forward to it. Something else that they do allow you to do is there are some collectibles even in the game, so you can customize your cat. There's different emotes that you have, but there's these little like gotcha machine balls, like you put the quarter in, you turn it, and then you get the little mystery prize in there. There's those collectibles around the map, and you can find a few in this demo, and they turn out to be like these little hoods and hats for your cat. So I believe there was a frog one that we found, an apple, a bunny, and I think there was one more, but I'm blanking on it. So, you can get a little cute and adorable with that. I don't know if there will be anything else besides the hoods, if you'll get like little sweaters or capes or anything like that. But from the time we did play this, it's a shorter demo, but we did really enjoy it. Like I said, checks off that box of just something to be, have a good time with, enjoy yourself, and it's open to anybody and everybody to play that one. Next demo that I did play was Alien Hominid Invasion. This is published and developed by The Behemoth. That name might sound familiar to some of you guys if you've been around the indie scene for a while. This is the team that made, Alien Hominid, I think was their first one, but also Castle Crashers, which blew up big time. back on the Xbox 360 days, and then they eventually made a remaster. I believe they've also made Battle Block Theater. There was another one that was like I don't know if it was turn-based, but it was like territories. You'd move to different parts of the map, and then you would fight out with these big knight gladiator characters. I remember playing a demo at, I believe it was TwitchCon years and years ago, but never delved into it farther than that. But this is that team. This is kind of like a spiritual successor to their first title, I guess, of Alien Hominid. But this is a roguelite shooter that you play co-op if you want to. A little bit stressful in terms of difficulty, but it is level to level. You're your little alien, which you can customize. And you have different variety of guns and abilities that you can use. And you are just shooting and defending yourself against the, CIA. So you're jumping around different platforms, dealing with them, and there's different mini objectives that you're dealing with and trying to accomplish in each level. Whether it's gather resources, defeat a certain type of enemy so many times, survive for a time limit, whatever it is. And you need to complete a few of these before you can leave and move on to the next level. And as you are there, the longer you are in that specific level or area, it gets more difficult. The CIA agents get a little bit more body armor or different abilities or different guns that they can use, which make it a little bit more stressful and difficult as you're going along. Had a great time with this one. I will say that the interface in terms of the level to level moving along the path was a little confusing to me. Nothing super labeled super well. It's just kind of this is a rectangle that looks like a level, and then there's the smaller one and the smaller one. Is that roguelite where it is choose your path? So I kind of get that. I just wish things were a little bit more clear from a player perspective. Maybe it was something I missed. I don't know. But moving from point to point, I couldn't really tell where the paths were or what would be beneficial to me as a player in terms of strategy, figuring out which way I should go, what I should do, whatever it is. I think this will be a great game to play with friends. Castle Crashers was always a blast, a big hack and slash. I can see this one being very similar in terms of just everybody jumping around, shooting stuff, dealing with the panic and shouting at each other. And I hope that it performs well in that. As far as I know, it would be one screen, so couch co-op. If it's online co-op, that makes a little bit more sense in terms of how the screen is going to move following your alien. But if it is couch co-op, I'm curious how that will go, if it will pan out the camera so it's a wider screen, or what it will be, but time will tell there. Release date for that one is going to be 2023. I don't know if I said it for Little Kitty, but they're 2024, so you got some time for that one. Next one I played is coming out on July 27th. It was Rightfully Barry Arms. Let me find their page real quick so I can properly shout out their devs. So this is developed and published by Daylight Basement Studio. So this one is a top-down, insane bullet hell shooter. So you're this little pixel bear with a big-ass gun, big pistol, and just you just gotta clear out different rooms. I want to say it has elements of the roguelite as well, where it's room to room, clear the enemies, you move on to the next one, and go from there. But it does definitely more focus on the bullet hell aspects, so your Binding of Isaac, your Enter the Gungeon. There's another title I can't recall that I've played, but similar to that. So you're just avoiding bullets as much as you can and trying to shoot the enemies. This was a one that I kind of spent not too much time on. This was a quicker one. Most of these titles I was able to play with controller. This was another one. This one felt a little bit rough around the edges. From a graphics standpoint, obviously it's different. I think that's fine with the pixel layout. Totally cool there. From a controller standpoint, and granted this could have just been my experience, aiming was not great. You use the right stick to aim as it's this top-down perspective, and it just felt like a lot of my shots were going not where I intended them to, or it was very hard to kind of pinpoint and accurately find that sweet spot to hit enemies by moving and aiming with the right stick. Granted, like I said, could have just been my experience with it, but it seems like a chaotic fun time, which sometimes is the best kind of fun, just kind of the insanity that's going around you. It is in early access right now outside of this demo, so if you wanted to check it out, you can definitely do that. And I can confirm it does say action roguelike, so you will have elements where if you do die, you'll have to restart, but you'll have things that carry over. I don't know if it's roguelike, I don't know if stuff will carry over, but roguelite aspects do. I know, that small difference makes all the change in the gameplay there. But yeah, it was a fun time for the limited time that I did play it. Alright, now we're going to hit a little bit close to home, as the next demo I did play was Sticky Business. This one's coming out in 2023, and this is developed by Spellgarden Games and published by Assemble Entertainment. This one is a chill time management sim where you are a sticker company and you're just making stickers and fulfilling orders and mailing them and all the fun stuff. So yeah, hits close to home here because, well, it's what I do. But you're doing the whole process. You're doing the creation of the stickers, you're doing the fulfillment of the orders, you're printing out the sheets, you're doing the layouts of the stickers on those sheets, and you're managing your time in your day of when you can get these projects done. This was one that also I spent a very short amount of time with, but the time I did spend was a lot of fun. The creative side of it, of making the stickers, there's a lot of freedom in there. Some things aren't, I would say, like, in terms of scale, you can't go super small with certain things, but I think that was just a matter of me not recognizing the workspace of, like, this whole canvas is my sticker, and then I can go from there. But there's a lot of different elements that they have right now that you could play with, whether it was animals or food, or I think there was sports, and a whole wide variety of topics in there, or categories rather. Change colors, you can change the die cut, how much of a border it has, scale, like I said, the rotation, whatever it might be. Seems like a fun time. Hits a little close to home for me, so I don't know if this will be something I dive into fully, but I could see how a lot of people will get into this game. Something that is a very cool mechanic of it, that I saw in this one, is there is stream integration. So it's a feature where if you are a live streamer, whether on Twitch, whether on YouTube, I'm pretty sure both those platforms are supported, but I could be wrong, it allows your viewers to actually make orders or order stickers, not IRL, but like, hey, I want so many of this type of sticker. They can order it, and the player will have to make those orders in game and ship those out, to kind of add a little bit more of a challenge element, similar to, just off the top of my head, like a Plate Up, where, you know, your viewers can come in, order food, and you make that for them as they come into your store. Similar here, so that could be a lot of fun, and could be interesting element to it, but you do not have to play it that way. If you just play it on your own, the orders will come out, you know, normal that way, and it will go through that simulation for you. So, Sticky Business comes out 2023. Had a good time with that one, and like I said, the customization was great. One that has me intrigued art style wise, with a kind of a nice fun blend of 2D and 3D, is the next demo I played, called Born of Bret. Titles TBD, no specific date that they have listed here. It's developed by Wild Arts Studios Incorporated and published by Dear Villagers. But this is a fun platform adventure title where all the characters are these like 2D cutout characters, but the world around them is this 3D that they need to explore. You're a little boy made of bread named Loaf, and you're just trying to help your father get back to the castle that he works in as a chef and take down the evil that has been resurrected by some explorers as they are, going through their archaeology stuff. So the world is this action adventure platformer, but when you get into combat, you have your weapon you can use and interact with different elements in the environment to solve puzzles where you can smack things, get resources from them, progress to the levels there. But when you get to the combat itself, if you're going to ever run into those interactions, it is a turn-based system. So similar to old Final Fantasies, etc., etc., etc. Numerous things there. From the little bit I did play of Born or Bred, there only was a physical attack I could do, but it seems like the character over time will have different elements that they can do. I'm not sure if you're going to be building a party system where other characters that you run into will be able to attack and be involved in these battles as well. There's another one that I didn't play a lot of just because I didn't have the time. But I did run into one other character, a little raccoon guy who was in the woods and he was lost from his family. His name was Lint, I believe. I'm not sure if he will also become a character, like I said, part of the party. But at least based on the trailers here, it seems like there are other characters you will run into and interact with. But yeah, great art style, very cute, and seems like a lot of fun. This is definitely a title that I'll be looking forward to heavily as we get closer. Hopefully it's to its release. So yeah, it says coming soon right now. No date to be found, but Born or Bred, had a fun time with it. Really good time. I'll touch on this one quick just because I've played the first one, but Moving Out 2 has a sequel, or Moving Out 2 is coming out as a sequel. Pretty much from the time I spent in the demo very shortly or very quickly, seems like more of the same. More moving out, more fun insanity with your friends or on your own, carrying different items to their spot. Looking on the trailers, looks like there's going to be quite a plethora in terms of what you were moving. The area that I did was a farm, and you had to deliver animals to the correct pens and organize them there. And it seems like there's going to be a lot more chaos this time around compared to the first one. So this is developed by SMG Studio and Devim Games and published by Team 17. Yeah, first one was a lot of fun, so looking forward to the second. We got two more titles here that I did play, and I think these were probably my favorite ones that I did play. Both of them are skateboarding titles, to be honest, and kind of funny with it. The first one is called Skater Gator 3D. Comes out Q3 of 2023. This is developed and published by Weathered Sweater. Man, these studio names, how great. This one is another platformer adventure where you get elements of the skateboarding once you reach certain puzzles and aspects of it. And you're just this cute little gator who loves skating. Unfortunately, his skateboard that he just got turns out to be evil. I know, that sounds weird. And that skateboard has stolen something important to his family, and he is going to recover it. So yeah, 3D platform elements in here. So just jumping from thing to thing, progressing through the levels. It's a collectathon, so you're trying also to 100% finding different items and collect everything. Similar to Tony Hawk, where you have the letters to make Gator. Those are there, as well as these little pickup items, which are like 30 plus per level that you want to try and collect before you reach the end. At least in the tags here, it seems like it's a shorter game. So, hey, nothing wrong with that. But had a lot of fun with the demo there. The art style is great. It's very top-down, so you can kind of see the world around you and easy to navigate. Yeah, definitely would recommend Skater Gator. Had a good time with that. And then the last demo I did play was Ollie Frog Toad Skater. And this was probably my favorite. Not going to lie. Very simple in art style, but in gameplay, it is amazing. Developed and published by Mr. Thee, Thee. This is Tony Hawk pro skater with frogs. That's all it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. It was a blast. So you're this cute little frog that you can customize colors, patterns, whatever it is. Customize their look. And you are essentially playing more Tony Hawk with the frog. You do 2-minute runs. I think it's 2-minute runs. Score attacks. Gather different items. Gather different letters. Do certain objectives and goals either around certain objects or, parts of the park or wherever you're going. It was amazing. It was a fun time. The gameplay runs smoothly. You could, if you have any history with the Tony Hawk games or any skateboarding games, like you pick it up immediately and you're pulling off combos and it feels so great and it's a great time. It's cute and adorable. Usually in obviously the pro skater games, if you bail and you fall on a trick that you're doing or a combo, like you'll fall, you'll hear them go you'll occasionally see a little blood and stuff like that. And here, if you do it, it's just like a little squeaky toy, like squeak. And you like splat on the ground. It's adorable. Really looking forward to this game. It says Q4 2023. I can't wait. So that should be a good time. And yeah, I know there's a bunch of probably skater games out there. I know we've seen some other ones even in the recent Summer Game Fest, but this one nails it out of the park. I think I only had one problem with it where it glitched a little bit and lagged, but granted, it's a demo, it's early access, those things are going to happen. But this one, Ollie Frog, definitely high in my list in terms of the demos that I played that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, Steam Next Fest. If you are listening to this live as a recording, the Steam Next Fest does end on tomorrow, Monday. So you have today, tomorrow, play through either these demos, obviously I talked about here, or there's a shit ton of other demos you could check it out. Sort by category, do all that fun stuff, find something that rings the bell for you, scratches that itch, because while the AAA stuff is great, and obviously those experiences are fun time, indies have that nice niche where they can kind of hit the points that AAAs aren't hitting at that point, and they do experimental stuff, which is a lot of fun and can bring something new to the table. So yeah, check them out, have some fun there, and once again, I'll plug them just because they're so great. If you are interested in other indie game stuff, please go check out 61 Indie. Their website, their YouTube, their podcast. They do a great job over there. I can't speak highly enough of them. But yeah, Steam Next Fest. Good times.